The following episode of Dad vs. Daughter was made possible by a contribution from Asmodee Digital. Hello and welcome to another episode of Digital Dad. Today I'm going to take a look at an app version of a card game that I grew up playing the physical version back in the 70s and 80s with my family. Now, Mille is a card game where you're racing against other players. You're going to be playing cards for mileage to try to be the first person to either 700 or 1,000 points. Along the way, you and your opponents are going to also play hazard cards against each other. These are like wrecks and flat tires and red lights. And they're used to either stop or slow the other players down. You're going to see how all that works in my playthrough. So as you can see, we've got a static menu using art from the cards. And since 99% of what I'm going to talk about is in the play section, let's actually start from the bottom up with more games. Now, this is a common screen I've come to know from Asmodee Digital. It's basically a catalog of their titles that you can get apps for. The next, we have settings. This is where you can set your username, your sound and music options, check the rules, and so forth. Next up, let's look at achievements. Now, during the course of your games and based on what you've done, you may earn achievements. This is where you can view them and it'll tell you what you did to earn them. Now let's look at the most important part, and that is play. So here you have two options of game styles. The right side option is course. Now this is a very kid-oriented part of the app. It has flashy animations and it's a more visual depiction of a race. And while this is good for the younger, less experienced players, it's not for me, so let's just move over to the classic game. So here you can select the type of player you want for yourself and your opponents. The game does feature pass and play for multiplayer, but for now I'm just going to play against the AI, and we'll keep it as a two-player game. But you can see we can set it up to 4 players. The game setting allows you to adjust the game length. 1,000 for just a single round, or 5,000 for what I would consider a full game. But for this demo, I'm going to use 1,000. And we can choose if we want to use the green light to start or just laying down mileage cards. And since I grew up playing that you had to have a green light to start, and after you fix hazards, I'm going to have those checked. So here's the game view. And I'm not really wild about it. I mean, it's functional, but it's just okay. And the other thing is, between turns, it pops up the U-turn message, or your turn message. I'm not really a fan of that in a game where I'm just playing against the AI, but that's really a minor quibble. To play a card, you're simply going to drag it from your hand to your play area. Now, the one point of confusion I have with the app is the safeties. I'm not sure why they're placed in this area on the right, that's that tan box, because in any version of the game that I've played, I've always had it as part of my 6-card hand until I've actually played it. It's not a major thing, but it's something to take note of. Now, I'm just going to play through the game, and you'll get to see it in all of its action, as well as hear the music and the sound effects, because I always play with the volume down. But for the purposes of this video, enjoy. So at the end of the game, you'll get to see how many points you've scored. Now, this is based on the mileage cards that you've played, any safety bonuses you had, and your coup frees. Now, if you tap the little arrow on the bottom right, you'll get to see any achievements you've earned during the race. So you can see I've got the Gravedigger, the Untouchable, and the Wasteful. Now, if you tap the green icon with the circles, it'll start up another game. And then the red house icon takes you back to the main menu. So overall, I've enjoyed the app. Like I said, I grew up playing Millborn, so it's nice that I can play this against the AI. I really wish that they would have had a multiplayer online experience, because I think in today's environment, if you don't have that as an option, it's kind of a glaring omission that generally means that you're playing with an older app that hasn't had much support for it. The average price currently is at $1.99, which is the lowest that I've seen it, and it's been as high as $4.99 in the past. So if you're looking for a nice laid-back card game to play against the AI, I recommend it. So that is Millborns for iOS, and may your journey be free from wrecks and flats. If you would like to support us, you can visit patreon.com/dadvdaughter.
Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.